Have you ever wondered if those supplements you've been taking for years might actually be doing more harm than good now that you're in your golden years? Well, you're not alone. As we age, our bodies change in ways that can make certain supplements unnecessary or even potentially harmful. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos from SolidSeniors. If you enjoy this video, please type "solid" in the comments. If you don't like it, type "liquid" to let me know so I can make better videos for you. Today, we're going to talk about something your doctor might not have mentioned during your last checkup: 6 supplements that many people over 70 should reconsider taking. What works for someone in their 40s or 50s doesn't always work the same way for those of us in our 70s and beyond. Let's start with calcium supplements, which have been a staple recommendation for decades. Many of us have faithfully taken calcium supplements to protect our bones, especially women concerned about osteoporosis. But here's what many doctors won't tell you: after 70, high-dose calcium supplements can actually increase your risk of heart problems. Recent studies have shown that calcium from supplements doesn't always go where we want it to, our bones. Instead, it can build up in our arteries, contributing to hardening of the arteries and increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. For those of us over 70, this risk becomes even more significant. That doesn't mean you should avoid calcium altogether. The key is getting it primarily from your diet, dairy products, leafy greens, and fortified foods, rather than from pills. Most people can get adequate calcium through food, which your body processes differently than supplement calcium. If you do need a supplement, talk to your doctor about taking a lower dose, perhaps 500 to 600 milligrams instead of the commonly recommended 1000 to 1200 milligrams. Now, let's talk about iron supplements, another one that many seniors should reconsider. Iron is essential for blood production, and many of us were told to take iron supplements earlier in life, especially women during their reproductive years. However, after 70, our iron needs decrease significantly. Women no longer lose iron through menstruation, and many older adults actually tend to absorb and store more iron than they need. This excess iron can accumulate in your organs, particularly your liver and heart, potentially causing damage over time. What's more concerning is that excess iron acts as an oxidant in your body, potentially increasing inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 factors that accelerate aging and contribute to chronic diseases. Unless you have a diagnosed iron deficiency anemia, most people over 70 should avoid iron supplements altogether. In fact, some research suggests that slightly lower iron levels in seniors might be protective against certain age-related diseases. Your multivitamin might contain iron, so check the label and consider switching to an iron-free formula specifically designed for seniors. The third supplement we need to discuss is high-dose vitamin E. For years, vitamin E was praised as a powerful antioxidant that could protect against heart disease, cancer, and cognitive decline. Many of us jumped on this bandwagon, taking high-dose vitamin E supplements in hopes of staying young and healthy. But what your doctor might not tell you is that high-dose vitamin E supplements, above 400 IU daily, have been linked to increased mortality risk in older adults. Several large clinical trials found that far from protecting the heart, high-dose vitamin E supplements might actually increase the risk of heart failure in people with existing cardiovascular disease, a condition that becomes more common as we age. The problem isn't vitamin E itself, it's the high doses in supplement form. Vitamin E from food sources like nuts, seeds, and vegetable oils is beneficial and comes packaged with other nutrients that work synergistically. But isolated, high-dose vitamin E in supplement form doesn't provide the same benefits and may interfere with blood clotting, which can be particularly dangerous if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin or even daily aspirin. If you're currently taking a high-dose vitamin E supplement, don't stop abruptly, especially if it was prescribed by your doctor. Instead, bring it up at your next appointment and discuss whether it's still appropriate for your specific health situation. For most people over 70, getting vitamin E from a varied diet or a standard multivitamin, which typically contains a much lower dose, is the safer approach. Now that we've covered these 3 supplements that many seniors should reconsider, let's move on to discuss 3 more that might surprise you even more. Many of these supplements were once considered universally beneficial, but new research has revealed important age-related considerations that change the equation for those of us in our 70s and beyond. Let's continue our discussion with the 4th supplement many seniors should reconsider: high-dose fish oil or omega-3 supplements. Fish oil has been widely promoted for heart health, and many of us have added these capsules to our daily regimen hoping to protect our cardiovascular system. While omega-3 fatty acids are indeed beneficial for overall health, high-dose fish oil supplements can pose unique risks for people over 70. One of the main concerns is their blood-thinning effect. Fish oil supplements, especially at doses above 3 grams daily, can significantly reduce blood clotting, which increases bleeding risk during falls or surgeries, events that become more common as we age. This blood-thinning effect is particularly dangerous if you're already taking medications like aspirin, warfarin, or other anticoagulants. The combination can thin your blood too much, potentially leading to dangerous bleeding episodes. What's more, many doctors don't think to ask about fish oil when reviewing your medications, considering it just a supplement. Another issue with high-dose fish oil is that it can actually suppress your immune system. While this anti-inflammatory effect might sound beneficial, for seniors whose immune systems are already naturally declining with age, further suppression could increase susceptibility to infections. Instead of high-dose supplements, consider eating fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines twice a week. This provides omega-3s in their natural form, along with protein and other nutrients beneficial for aging bodies. If you do take fish oil supplements, most seniors should stick to lower doses, around 1 gram daily, and always inform your healthcare providers about all supplements you're taking. The 5th supplement that deserves scrutiny after age 70 is melatonin. Many seniors turn to melatonin supplements to combat insomnia, which becomes increasingly common with age. It seems like a natural solution. After all, our bodies produce less melatonin as we age, so supplementing makes sense, right? Not necessarily. While short-term use of melatonin is generally considered safe, long-term use in seniors hasn't been well studied. What we do know is that melatonin supplements can interact with many medications commonly prescribed to older adults, including blood pressure medications, anticoagulants, and immunosuppressants. More concerning is that melatonin can stay in an older person's system much longer than in younger adults. Our liver and kidneys, which process and clear medications, become less efficient with age. This means a standard dose of melatonin might affect a 75-year-old much more strongly and for a longer duration than it would someone younger. This prolonged effect can lead to morning grogginess, increased fall risk, and even daytime sleepiness, all particularly dangerous for seniors. Some research also suggests that melatonin might worsen symptoms in people with dementia or cognitive impairment, causing increased confusion or agitation. If you're struggling with sleep, consider non-supplement approaches first, maintaining a regular sleep schedule, avoiding screens before bedtime, keeping your bedroom dark and cool, and limiting caffeine and alcohol. If you do need melatonin occasionally, start with the lowest possible dose, 0.5 to 1 mg instead of the standard 3 to 5 mg, and take it at least 2 hours before bedtime. Now, let's discuss our 6th supplement, high-dose B vitamins, particularly B6 and B12. Many seniors take B-complex supplements or individual B vitamins for energy, brain health, or to lower homocysteine levels, which has been linked to heart disease. B vitamins are essential for numerous bodily functions, and vitamin B12 deficiency is indeed more common in older adults due to decreased absorption. However, taking high doses of certain B vitamins can be problematic after 70. Let's start with vitamin B6. While this vitamin is crucial for nerve function and protein metabolism, high doses, above 100 mg daily, taken for extended periods can actually cause nerve damage, leading to symptoms like numbness, tingling, and difficulty walking, symptoms that might be mistakenly attributed to other age-related conditions like neuropathy or balance problems. The irony is that many seniors take B6 hoping to improve nerve function, not realizing that excessive amounts can have the opposite effect. This nerve damage, called sensory neuropathy, can sometimes be permanent even after stopping the supplement. As for vitamin B12, while deficiency is common and supplementation is often necessary for seniors, extremely high doses aren't beneficial and might mask other health problems. For instance, high-dose B12 supplements can hide the symptoms of pernicious anemia or folate deficiency, potentially delaying proper diagnosis and treatment. Additionally, some research suggests that high doses of B vitamins, particularly B12 and folate, might accelerate cognitive decline in seniors who already have mild cognitive impairment, the opposite of the brain protective effect many hope for when taking these supplements. Rather than taking high-dose B-complex supplements, consider a more targeted approach. If you're concerned about B12 deficiency, ask your doctor for a blood test. If you're truly deficient, a moderate supplement, around 500 to 1000 micrograms daily, or even B12 injections might be recommended. For most other B vitamins, the amounts in a standard multivitamin are sufficient unless you have a specific deficiency diagnosed by your doctor. It's worth noting that many of these supplements aren't inherently bad, they can be beneficial at certain stages of life or for specific health conditions. The problem arises when we continue taking them out of habit without reassessing whether they're still appropriate as our bodies change with age. This brings us to an important point about supplement safety in general. The supplement industry is largely unregulated compared to prescription medications. The FDA doesn't verify the safety or effectiveness of supplements before they hit the market. This means the quality, purity, and actual content of supplements can vary widely between brands. For seniors, this lack of regulation is particularly concerning because our bodies are more vulnerable to adverse effects and interactions. Many supplements contain fillers, binders, or additional ingredients that aren't listed prominently on the label but could potentially cause reactions in sensitive individuals. Another aspect rarely discussed is how supplements interact with the aging process itself. As we age, our bodies undergo numerous changes that affect how we process and respond to various substances, including supplements. Our liver and kidneys, the primary organs responsible for processing and eliminating substances from our bodies, become less efficient. This means supplements can stay in our systems longer, potentially building up to harmful levels even when taking the recommended dose. Our digestive systems also change, often becoming less efficient at absorbing certain nutrients while paradoxically becoming more sensitive to others. This unpredictable absorption means that supplement doses appropriate for younger adults might be either ineffective or excessive for seniors. So what should you do if you're currently taking any of the 6 supplements we've discussed? First, don't panic or stop everything abruptly. Instead, take inventory of all the supplements you're currently taking and why you started each one. Was it recommended by a healthcare provider for a specific condition? Did you start it based on an article you read or advice from a friend? Has your health situation changed since you began taking it? Next, schedule an appointment with your healthcare provider specifically to review your supplements. Bring all your supplement bottles with you, not just a list, so your provider can see exactly what you're taking, including dosages and other ingredients. Be prepared to discuss any symptoms or changes you've noticed, even if they seem unrelated to your supplements. When discussing supplements with your doctor, ask these key questions. Is this supplement still necessary for my current health status? Could it be interacting with any of my medications? Is there a better way to get these nutrients through my diet? Are there any age-specific concerns I should know about? Remember that your pharmacist can also be an excellent resource for information about supplement-drug interactions. Many pharmacies offer medication review services that include supplements, and pharmacists often have specialized knowledge about how various substances interact. While we've focused on supplements to avoid or reconsider, it's worth mentioning that there are some supplements that might actually be beneficial for many adults over 70. Vitamin D, for instance, becomes more important as we age because our skin becomes less efficient at producing it from sunlight, and vitamin D deficiency is common in seniors. However, even vitamin D should be taken in appropriate doses based on blood tests rather than arbitrarily. A moderate dose multivitamin formulated specifically for seniors might also be appropriate, especially for those who struggle to maintain a varied diet. These typically contain lower doses of the potentially problematic nutrients we've discussed while providing adequate amounts of essential vitamins and minerals. Probiotics are another supplement category that some seniors might benefit from, particularly those who've recently taken antibiotics or have digestive issues. However, even with probiotics, it's important to choose products specifically studied in older adults rather than assuming all probiotic strains are equally beneficial across age groups. The key takeaway isn't that all supplements are dangerous after 70, but rather that our supplement needs change as we age, and what was beneficial in our 50s or 60s might not be appropriate in our 70s and beyond. Personalization becomes increasingly important. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to supplementation for seniors. This brings us to perhaps the most important point: the best source of nutrients is still a varied, nutrient-rich diet. Whole foods contain not just vitamins and minerals but also fiber, antioxidants, and thousands of beneficial plant compounds that work synergistically in ways that isolated supplements simply cannot replicate. Focus on incorporating plenty of colorful fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and whole grains into your meals. These foods provide nutrients in their natural forms and ratios, which our bodies have evolved to process efficiently. They also come with the added benefits of being satisfying, delicious, and socially enjoyable, all important aspects of nutrition that pills can't provide. If you do need to supplement, consider food-based or whole food supplements, which contain nutrients in forms closer to how they appear in nature, often with their natural cofactors intact. These tend to be gentler on the digestive system and may be better utilized by the body, though they typically cost more than synthetic versions. It's also worth considering that our nutrient needs actually decrease somewhat as we age, partly because we typically become less active and our metabolism slows. This means that even if you're eating less than you used to, you might still be getting adequate nutrition. Another reason why high-dose supplements often aren't necessary. What stood out to you the most from our discussion today? Which of these supplements are you currently taking, and which ones do you feel you might need to reconsider? We'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned today and how you plan to bring it into practice in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. Remember, taking control of your health includes being informed about what you put into your body, whether that's food, medication, or supplements. Being proactive about reviewing your supplement regimen regularly is an important part of aging well. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video from SolidSeniors.